In the last 12 months, the world has been changed beyond recognition by the first pandemic in over 100 years. Now, at the heart of fighting coronavirus have been the government-imposed measures of lockdowns and face masks. These have become a cause of great division. Protesters have been taken to the streets to demonstrate their disapproval. The so-called anti-maskers believe that these measures are more about social control than protecting us. My name is Tom Lawrence. I have spent the last few months talking to those who believe the government is lying to us, as well as those working tirelessly in the community to ensure our safety. This is Unmasked. Now, it may seem crazy to think that coronavirus is a hoax. That is the view of the so-called anti-maskers, who have been protesting up and down the country to end government measures. And one of the most prominent members is Piers Corbyn. The brother of former Labour leader Jeremy, Piers Corbyn has been protesting around the country since March to try and put an end to these measures. He believes that COVID is in fact a hoax. I wanted to ask him about his thoughts on lockdowns and face mask wearing. Could you tell me a bit about yours and your group's opinion on lockdowns and the effect that it has on the public?
We are completely opposed to all lockdowns and all the measures put forward in the name of the COVID so-called pandemic. There is no pandemic. There's no extra deaths this year compared with any year. Total deaths in the world.
Your group as well has disagreed with face masks. Could you tell me a bit about your disagreements with the mandatory face mask wearing?
Well, they have no effect whatsoever in terms of supporting your health. In fact, they're damaging to health. First of all, the size of a face mask will not stop a virus. The holes in the face mask are far too large. It's like expecting a fence to stop a fly. It's a complete nonsense. So what is the purpose of a face mask? Well, it's to submit. It's a sign of submission. If the government can get the whole country wearing face masks, they can get them to do anything. And that is what they're doing now. They're getting people to have their freedoms taken away in the name of a contagion fear, a fake story.
I found Piers Corbyn's dystopian view of the world hard to believe, particularly as his statistics and facts are not backed by any major scientific body. Despite this, the anti-mask movement is still gathering momentum. In order to get a more scientific view on lockdowns and face masks, I'm going to talk to Ahmed Sharabani, who is a doctor and health tech founder. Ahmed has been working in COVID wards since the pandemic began. How important do you think it is that people do follow these guidelines in order for everyone to be safe and to stop the spread of coronavirus?
It's the most important. I mean, the NHS is at extremely high levels of capacity at the moment. There's very little wiggle room there. So the single most effective thing that the average Joe can do, the average Jane can do, is to wear a mask and adhere to it. It is always the case where when lockdown is imposed or when masks are mandated, 2 weeks later, you'll start to see a rapid decline of cases admitted into hospital. And a couple of weeks after that, you see the number of deaths start to decrease. So, it's not luck when you start seeing this across, 100 use cases across 100 nations for 9 months worth of data. We're talking data sets of hundreds of thousands, if not hundreds of millions almost. So it does make a difference.
I asked Piers why most scientists and NHS workers believe that there is a pandemic. He told me that they are paid to lie. There are thousands of people in the country, scientists, medical professions, who obviously disagree with this view.
No, they know what the truth is and they're paid to shut up and lie.
Do you think every healthcare professional then knows that the truth is
no. A lot of healthcare professionals do what they're told. I mean, that is the nature of the National Health Service now. It's a top-down dictatorship and has become more so in the last couple of years.
Do you not believe the statistics that there is, the death statistics that we're seeing today? We've had the biggest death rate is what they're reporting.
Complete lies. All of it is total lies. What you have to do is not look at today's statistics, so-called, which include estimates of blah, blah, blah. You look at them in a week's time, and all of a sudden the figures for today will have gone right down. The actual number of people dying or have died since this began in the United Kingdom is about 400. Now, that is nothing different from the numbers who die every year from flu.
How does it make you feel when you see people protesting in London and all over the country against lockdowns and against face masks? Is there a legitimate point they have?
People have every right to the freedom of speech, and they have every right to protest across a number of things. I mean, it was this year we had the Black Lives Matter movement after the George Floyd murder, and, you know, that was very, very different to people protesting against face masks wearing and, you know, kind of invasion of free rights and free speech and whatever else people want to call it. Science is science, you know, it's proven. There is categorically no data that is peer-reviewed by anybody that suggests face masks have any detrimental effect to people. You really, if you don't want to wear it for yourself for whatever reason, wear it for your aunt, your uncle, your grandparent who are more at risk than you are.